Good morning, tribe. Welcome to Brunch and BS. I am jendotcohen, your host. Today is Sunday, the 6th of April already. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're already in April. The year is flying by. And today's topic is pop culture. Pop culture is going to be the first topic each the first week each weekend. But okay, here we go. Sound is choppy, I see somebody saying. Okay, let's see if we can't fix that. And hopefully that's a little bit better. Let me know if that let me know if the mic sound is any better. I'll wait to see that. Because we don't like choppy sounds. Still choppy? We don't like choppy. Okay, hang on a second here, and let's see if we can't fix it. So hang on. Hang on, let's see here, guys. Okay, how is that? Is that any better? Hopefully. Folks are saying still distorted, but I need French toast. Yeah, that's for sure. No sound now? Seriously? Oh my God. And be one of those days, boys and girls. Let's see if we can't make this better, because it's really annoying. Sound is back. You can hear me, still choppy. Go out, come back in, maybe. Okay. Crap. Okay, hang on a sec, guys. I'm afraid if I go out, it's not going to let me come back in is the problem. Because I have to like end the stream then. So I'm not sure if it's going to work. Hold on a sec. Okay. How about now? I switch speakers. You don't have to be sorry here. Hang on. Choppy. Hit leave studio. It shouldn't. Okay. Well, let's give this a shot. Okay, we're going to try this again. So I am still live. I changed the mic. How is it? Can you hear me now, or is it still really choppy and gross? I hate that the first 5 minutes is me like trying to mess with the sound, but okay. So Aaron says it's better. All better. Hooray. Okay. Success. Holy cow. It only took 5 minutes. Good thing it's not Level Up, which is only 30 minutes long. Holy cow. Thank you so much, you guys, for putting up with it and for staying with me through this. Let's go in and actually say hi to the folks who have been helping me troubleshoot here. First one in this morning, yo, with Eddie Lugo. Thank you so much for being here, Eddie. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And Scott from Controversial Cruising. Scott from Scottsdale is here. Brunch and BS, baby. Let's go. I love it. And Denise from Bone Tired Traveler saying, let's do it. Fantastic. So glad that you're here, Denise. I dropped a link in here. There is a new blog post on my website. Pop culture, the question I wanted to address today is, if you could have brunch with any one actor, who would it be? So I actually wrote a post about that, but wanted to get your opinions on that as well. So Scott saying hi to everyone. Aaron Smith saying good morning to the tribe. Thanks so much for coming in, Double A. And here we go. Let's go, baby. Eddie saying good morning. Everybody saying good morning. Here's where we started getting choppy and all that. Thank you. Love the blouse. It's actually a dress, Denise. I got it because I am going to Arizona next weekend. And from what I see of the weather in Arizona, it's going to be like 100. So it's in the 40s here in Chicago, and I'm going to go to a 60 degree jump. So I better be ready for that. So here's where everybody was helping me troubleshoot it, saying no sound, go back in, blah, blah, blah. It was awful. Okay, here's Chet saying happy Sunday. Thanks for coming in, Sea Leg Journeys. Hope you and Robin are doing well. It's like an echo chamber choppy. Okay. Yes, still live. Here we go. Here we go. And Law Jones agreeing, saying yes. I'm so glad it's so much better. That is fantastic. That's what I get for not like testing it out beforehand. And Mrs. Orange Cone Vlog, Donna is here. Hi, Donna. Thanks so much for coming in. So great that we got this. And Scott saying, pop culture folks didn't use mics. Depends on the pop culture. So who else? Am I missing anyone? No, everybody's saying hey to everybody else, which is fantastic. Here we go. And yes, Donna asking Eddie, how are you doing? Hopefully that you are good. Denise is already answering the question, Robert Downey Jr. for the actor that she would want to sit down with. Eddie says Jack Black. He would be hilarious. That would be very good as well. Saying hey to Donna and Ross. Okay. Will Jen and I do a pop-up live next Saturday night? I wonder if we will, because we will be together next Saturday night in Arizona. So, oh my goodness, incredible. So let's see. Is he snoring, Donna? And Donna says a little. Okay. Hint, hint, Captain Controversy. Yeah, that's a good hint. Danny is here. Hi, Danny. Thanks so much for coming in. Great that you are here. Yeah, this could be a hint. Could be a hint. I love it. It is the angel Danny D. Danny hopefully not having to play Danny Bot today, because hopefully Nightbot is working correctly. If you would like to drop your link for your YouTube channel, please just type in hashtag tribe, TRIBE, and Nightbot will do its thing and drop the link. Also, a few other things that Nightbot does. If you would like to drop the link for Helping Hands for Cruising, a charity very near and dear to my heart, that is hashtag HH4C, and it will drop their information. And if you are a coffee drinker, make sure that you drop hashtag coffee, and that way you can go ahead and order your coffee or tea online. That would be fantastic. So that's exactly the way you do it, Denise. Hashtag tribe, and Nightbot is working. Success. Something is working technologically today right out of the gate. That's fantastic. Ron with DeFam Adventures is here. Ron, thanks so much for coming in. Great to have you here. Everybody shouting back and forth. And Danny's saying, only for Chet's stream is she the Danny bot. And you do a great job of it. So that is fantastic. And this one was developed just for you, Denise, hashtag moist. And I still love that quote. So I'm going to leave it up there for a while. Hashtag coffee is how you can get your Java or tea fix and also benefit Helping Hands for Cruising. If you're already ordering coffee or tea online, why not go over to Giving Bean and make it an online order that gives 25% of your total order to the Helping Hands for Cruising community. So absolutely love that. Hashtag Scott Moist is not something I have programmed for Nightbot yet, but there we go. What's up, Denise? Hope you're safe from the storms. Yeah, Denise, you have been having some nasty, nasty weather. Absolutely. Scott's Fault is another good hashtag that we need to come up with something for it to do. Danny says Scott's Fault 100%. Oh my goodness. You guys are too funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so a couple of people have answered the pop culture question. What one actor would you like to sit down and have brunch with? Because honestly, I had a really tough time with this question. Originally, I was going to make it what one character would you like to sit down and see? But no. I couldn't pick just one character, so I figured one actor was an easier way to go. Thank you so much, Ron, saying that he doesn't think I get enough credit for the support I show other channels. Thank you so much. I try. I love this community, and I am here for it. So Scott, wondering how is it his fault this time? And Liz, the cruising lizard, coming in saying, good morning. Is that my dress? I've been looking for it since December. I'll send you the link to the dress, Liz. It's not yours. I didn't steal it from you. I would never take your clothing, but I will say that I am wearing the matching earrings to the ones that I got you today. So there we go. And Ron saying good morning to Liz and Danny too. Here we go. Yeah, so you're good. The tornado dwindled down before it got there. So some trees are down, but nothing there. Oh my goodness. Wow. I want to sit down with that nut, Captain Controversy. Well, I'm going to get that wish next week. I will actually get to sit down with you. So let's see. Randy coming in with John Wilkes Booth. Okay. He was an actor. He might have some interesting things to say, but yeah. Okay. The actor in real life for brunch is a better question. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because honestly, I was afraid with a character, characters can be too one-dimensional. And I really like the idea of sitting down with an actor and actually getting to talk to them and things. Quite honestly, I would say that as I was thinking about it, I think I would want to sit down with Mel Brooks. I love his comedy. I love his movies. I have followed his comedy since like, oh, wow, comedy albums, as I date myself horribly here, that he used to do with like Carl Reiner. I mean, just absolutely love that. So yeah, absolutely. So great that Denise and Dwayne are safe. Sorry that you got woken up so early, but at least you are safe. So Scott is saying Denzel. He would be another one who would be great to sit down with. And Eddie's saying Randy wants to shoot himself. I don't think so. With John Wilkes Booth, he would do it for you. So Aaron giving a shout out, everyone giving their shout outs to Eddie and a yo. Fantastic. Nightbot is reminding you to subscribe if you haven't already. I know most of you are already subscribed, and I will encourage you, even more than subscribing to my channel, to subscribe to Helping Hands for Cruising. We are trying to get them monetized, and they are at 419 subscribers as of this morning. So if you haven't already gone over there and become a subscriber of Helping Hands for Cruising, please support the charity and go over there. It's free to become a subscriber, and that way you know when they go live and they are actually showing stuff off. So Eddie shouting out with the AA. Let's see. Chet says Sylvester Stallone or Clint Eastwood. Oh, they would be great too. There are so many people that I would love to have a conversation with. Absolutely. Oh no, hashtag Barry. Oh no. Mel Brooks is a great one. Thank you. I love Mel Brooks so much. So Dwayne is saying maybe Bill Murray. I think Bill Murray would be an interesting one to talk to also, because I've loved so many of his movies through the years. But that's how I feel about like Stallone or Clint Eastwood either. I've watched so many of their movies and have enjoyed so much of their stuff that I would love to do that. I think Bill Murray would be really fun to sit down with. Donna is saying Jim Carrey. He would be really cool too. And Danny's saying maybe Adam Sandler. I think Adam Sandler would be really fun. You know, he would dress totally casual and be like completely open and honest with you and no pretense or anything. I think that would be a really fun one too. I do want to stick to I do want to stick to actors today, because I think there's another opportunity for us to talk about other segments of pop culture, like musicians, on a different day. So, yeah, so Robin says Lucille Ball. I told her I would need a crystal ball. She would need a crystal ball. You would, but Lucille Ball would be amazing. She was such a pioneer. She did so many great things. So Sandler would be a great one, says Ron. I agree, Aaron. We could go with directors. Of course, Mel Brooks, actor and director. So, and a lot of these people too, Clint Eastwood, Sylvester Stallone, they've all directed. So that one could definitely be a good combo of just people who have done directing. But for today, let's stick with actors. Now, I see the point of definitely needing actually a crystal ball or a Ouija board for Lucille Ball, but I didn't restrict it. I didn't say they had to be an actor who was living. I just said an actor. So if she wants to say Lucille Ball, then fantastic. I think that is terrific and very funny about the Ouija board, though. Okay, so let me ask this. If you were going to sit down with one of these people to have a meal, to have brunch, is there a question that you have always wanted to ask that person, and that's the reason you chose them? Like, is there some burning question that you would have for someone? Absolutely. Lucille Ball broke down so many walls. She came up with the idea of actually creating the studio, the Desilu studio. She was like a working mom before there were working moms, as far as like having kids and being on television and all kinds of stuff. The pioneer work that she did with I Love Lucy. I mean, just amazing, amazing. And Denise, you probably also have a little bit of a love thing with her because of sharing the red hair. So, you know, you got to have that too. Nightbot reminding you again to subscribe to Helping Hands for Cruising. Please make sure that you do that. I don't know that I have one question that I would specifically have for Mel Brooks. I would just want to hear whatever story he wanted to tell. I know the stories behind a number of his movies, like, for example, Young Frankenstein, which is like my all-time favorite. Gene Wilder actually talked Mel Brooks into doing that film. Mel did not originally want to do that film. So I would want to know more about that and how some of these things got made. So here we go. Two things from Aaron has seen on social media that blows his mind. Number one, musical heavyweights rubbing elbows with the monkeys. Yes. And number two, the TV shows we love, we must thank Lucille Ball for. Absolutely. Amazing, amazing, groundbreaking woman. And you're right. So many people took the monkeys seriously and talked to them. I see that too on social media. It is amazing. So Chet is saying that he would let Stallone or Eastwood lead the conversation. What is they want to say that maybe nobody is asked about, or somebody of interest or something of interest to them? I agree. I don't have like any single question that I would have for somebody like one of them. I want to know what's important to them. Or, you know what I would ask? If there was a part that they didn't get to play that they wish they had. Because I always like thinking about actors in roles that they didn't end up in and what that would have been like. Like when you talk about all of the actors who were interviewed for and who are auditioned for Back to the Future, for example. And like, I can't picture anyone but Michael J. Fox in there, but tons of young Hollywood actors interviewed for that. So absolutely. I agree with Aaron, or a role that they got and they were sorry for. So what about that? Najuma Brown is here. Good morning. Thanks so much for coming in, Najuma. And Scott reminding you that if you're new here and you haven't joined us on the Facebook community, please do. We have a lot of fun over there. So definitely. I do wonder if there's roles that they got that they were sorry for. For Clint Eastwood, I wonder if it was his first role in the musical that he would have apprehension about. Everyone's saying good morning to Najuma. Terrific. I'm so glad that you guys are welcoming folks in. So what other actors? We've already gotten some great actors. I actually, if we're talking about actors who are no longer with us, I would also love to sit down with Gene Hackman. I know that he just recently passed. He is one of those actors. I was having this conversation with Shannon last night. There are actors who I think are so amazing because they transcend the parts that they're in. You forget that they are playing a part. And he was always one of those. Richard Dreyfuss, another one, phenomenal actor. Love him. Think that he transcends like parts and things like that. Leonardo DiCaprio. He is another actor where I am
amazed no matter what role he plays, no matter what part, he commits to it so much that I buy into it. I mean, do you remember when he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I walked away from that movie like saying I never knew that Leonardo DiCaprio was developmentally disabled because he was so good. He was so amazing. So Danny is saying Bob Saget from Full House. Now, Danny, I loved Bob Saget's stand-up. He had some phenomenal stand-up. Mr. Holland's Opus is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that. Of course, I love Richard Dreyfuss all the way back to like The Goodbye Girl in the 70s with Marsha Mason. He was amazing in that movie. He was absolutely incredible in that movie. So there are so many actors that I think are just so good that they transcend the part that they're in. And it might be kind of cool to sit down with one of those folks. But at the same time, I think sometimes some of those actors are really method actors. And I don't know how interesting it would be to sit down and talk to them if they weren't in character, because they get so into that character and they really do embrace it and all of that. Oh, and speaking of Shannon, here she is. Good morning. Just made it. Good morning, everyone. So great that you're here. And Coker Culture, welcome, Zach. Thanks so much for coming in. Glad that you're here. Fantastic. We are talking about actors. So Shannon, I was mentioning that we had discussed like Leonardo DiCaprio yesterday and how he is just an amazing actor. So Law, could you count Johnny Carson? Absolutely. Johnny Carson would be a great one to sit down and talk to. Here's my concern with somebody like Johnny Carson, though. He is such a good interviewer. I don't know that he would allow you to kind of flip the conversation and learn more about him, or if he would be so interested in actually like talking to you and finding out what you thought that it would turn into an interview. But Johnny Carson, love. Okay, everyone's saying good morning to each other. Fantastic. And Aaron agreeing that Bob's stand-up is hilarious if you can get past him going, hey, look, I'm cussing. It ain't Full House, so I can cuss. He did that for 3 minutes or so, and I said, I'm out. Yeah, once you got past that, he definitely had some good stuff. And Robin Williams, another amazing actor who I would love to have had the chance to sit down and talk to. Just incredible. And Law is saying, as far as Johnny Carson is concerned, he could definitely lead. That would be very funny. I like that. Sir Coney. Okay. There are so I swear when I was thinking about this, I kept going back to Mel Brooks just because of how many of his movies I have watched so many times. So yeah, but I'm with you, Denise. Absolutely yes to Robin Williams. He was one of those actors who was so great in serious roles, in comedic roles, in whatever he did, just amazing. Aaron is saying that he saw some of Bob Saget's stand up before the Full House era, and it was bleeding zany. It definitely was funny stuff. So you loved Robin Williams too, Danny. Yeah. Baird Coker. What did I miss? What did I miss there? Okay. So, like I said, it can be an actor who's either with us or who is no longer with us. Another one who I would have loved to have had the opportunity to sit down and talk to, Betty White. She was, talk about somebody who was a pioneer, and she was also so fast on her feet, so sharp. I would have loved to have had a conversation with her. She was amazing. But definitely Betty White. She's another one who's on my list. I don't know what's with me and, like, talking to people who are no longer here, but still. So many. Oh, speaking of Mel Brooks, how about Gene Wilder? Okay. If I'm sitting down with Gene Wilder, I would also like to sit down with Gilda Radner. So I'd like to sit down with the both of them, because I think Gilda Radner was an amazing comedian. And if you did not see her outside of Saturday Night Live, if you didn't get a chance to see her stuff, you definitely are missing something. So Denise agrees with Betty White. So there we go. And Ross is saying he would have loved the opportunity to sit with William Shakespeare. Okay, definitely going back a ways. Why William Shakespeare? Because of everything that he wrote, or because of the fact that he came up with like every structure of every story that is still being used? I mean, he's amazing. So yeah, that would be incredible. I'm just afraid with William Shakespeare, I wouldn't be able to understand what he was saying very well. Even though it's English, but very proper English. So there we go. Morgan Freeman. Yes. Yes, Randy. Morgan Freeman, amazing actor, incredible actor. Dom DeLuise, love Dom DeLuise. He is very funny too. And Denise is saying to Randy that her daughter is named for Morgan Freeman. That's so cool. So Ross says what he wrote and wanting to understand his inspiration. You know what? Shakespeare was incredible from a standpoint of coming up with story structures that are still used today, hundreds of years later. So Zach saying, being an Atlanta boy, I'd love to sit down with Samuel L. Jackson. Oh man, he would be so cool to talk to. Absolutely. Cool, Denise. You named your daughter Freeman. Oh my gosh, Randy, that's too funny. Mr. Rogers. Oh, Fred Rogers would be, yes. So cool to sit down and talk to. That would be fantastic. Named your daughter Freeman. That's funny. Okay. So, typically known for music, two very boundary breaking actors, Cher and Dolly. Yes. Yes. To both of them. To both of them. I would love those. Morgan Freeman Mason. I like it. It works. Won't you be my neighbor? Absolutely, Danny. That is Mr. Rogers. Yeah. You're close. Okay, we're close to guessing. Yeah, okay. Mr. Rogers wins. Mr. Rogers would be fantastic. Pancakes with Mr. Rogers. Oh, anything with Mr. Rogers. He was so kind. He was so amazing. He taught us so much. He was incredible. Walt Disney from a creativity standpoint, but not from a personal standpoint. I gotta pass on Walt. He had some personal issues, so that I don't know that I would be his favorite person, but that's okay. Very creative man though, and came up with stuff that, again, still being used today, still very popular today. Incredible stuff. I absolutely think that there are some actors that I would like to meet with from long bygone eras because of what they went through and what they had to do. So how about this? How about Charlie Chaplin? He was, talk about a pioneer and someone who was able to like go ahead and transcend speech and transcend everything across different audiences and things like that. So Danny's saying she's going to be in Disney in July and you get to meet Chet in Disney Springs. I know you're in countdown mode for that. Okay, so Denise is saying her middle name is the name of an Irish singer that ripped apart a picture of the Pope on SNL and initially gained fame with a song written by Prince. Well, I know who that is. So her middle name is Sinead. Okay. And Chet's changing his shoes now. Okay. It was Sinead O'Connor. That definitely is who that is, Zach. So Golda Meir. Oh, wow. Your grandfather grew up with her? Talk about somebody who was an absolute pioneer. Wow. Okay. Who is Sinead O'Connor? Aye. Now I'm very old. Morgan O. Morgan O'Connor. No, I think Morgan Sinead or Morgan O'Connor. Where are we going with that? Tear up the Pope picture. I remember that when she did that on SNL. We're cracking Denise up here. And Michael Ann is here. Hey, good morning, Michael Ann. Thanks so much for coming in. Oh, Nothing Compares to You. I love that song. And I bet you're right, Ron. I bet Denise just rolled her eyes. Everyone's saying hey to Michael Ann. Thanks so much for coming in. So, Michael Ann, we are talking about an actor who you would want to actually sit down and have a meal with and get to have a conversation with. Okay, FYI, that was as in Jeopardy answers, not as in I don't know who she is. I'm so relieved, Aaron, because I was suddenly like, wow, I am older than old. So yes, yes, I did, Ron. I love Sinead O'Connor's music too, Michael Ann. I think she had an amazing voice. Okay. Oh, I thought Denise was being nice to me and saying nothing compares to me. It's Freeman O'Connor. There we go. Now we have our answer. How about Prime? Okay, Vincent Price. Oh, he would be amazing. Oh, and Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves would be so cool too. Absolutely. No, Shannon. We talked about this. We're not going with musicians yet. I know technically they were in the movies, but we're not going to musicians yet. I would say Vincent Price would be very interesting. He would be incredible to sit down and talk to, given that he had a voice. See, I would be so into just listening to the sound of his voice like I would be with Morgan Freeman, that I would be so wrapped up in that I don't know that I would even remember what the person had to say. I would just be so into the sound of their voice. I'm with you. I just love hearing his voice. It was amazing. So, hey, Denise, could you introduce us to Reeves? Oh my goodness. So many great options that y'all have come up with. Another good one, Shannon. Martin Sheen. Yes. Marty Feldman. Yes. Actually, I would want to meet anyone from that whole Mel Brooks group. So any of them. Cloris Leachman. I would love to see Madeline Kahn. Amazing. Harvey Korman. There were so many people who were so great in there. So they would be fantastic. Aaron is saying that he remembers Larry King saying his worst interview was with Robert Mitchum because he just gave short answers and wouldn't elaborate. I don't know that he would be a very good brunch date then. I think you're right. It is tempting, though. Robert Mitchum, definitely. Okay, so what else do we have here? Alec Karras. Wow. Yeah, he would be interesting. Marty Feldman definitely died too young, for sure. For sure, for sure. And thank you, Ron, for dropping the coffee hashtag. That way everybody has the link to get their Java fix. And remember, they have all different kinds of coffee. So they have ground coffee, coffee beans, pods, they have loose tea, all kinds of things. Whatever you want, they have. So Shannon's saying, what about producers and directors? Because I would want to have a convo with John Hughes. Yes. Oh my gosh. John Hughes would be another one. Loved so many of his movies. And for those of you in Chicagoland area, next weekend, C2E2 convention, all 5 main actors from the Breakfast Club are actually appearing for the first time together at that convention, which is pretty amazing. And yeah, Shannon, you keep jumping the topic from actors. You don't want to stick to actors today. You keep jumping to directors and producers. That's okay. We'll allow that. And Danny, I'm sorry, popcorn is not active right now. I have to reactivate that one. So Marty, yes. Oh my gosh, I remember the Marty Feldman Eyes song to the song of the Kim Carnes song that she did with Betty Davis Eyes. Yes, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And I'm with you, Michael Ann. I love The Breakfast Club. I'm a huge fan of that movie, but any of the 80s stars. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, Jen has to repop the popcorn. The popcorn thing runs for like 3 weeks and then it's a week off and then 3 weeks on, and I haven't reactivated it. So I have to repop the popcorn. Absolutely. So many actors from back then, the Chicago Movie Institute complex of the 1980s. So much was getting done then. Oh, Allison Janney is another good one. I was putting Nightbot doing the repopping. Oh, Meryl Streep. She would be fabulous too. There's so many actors. So many, I swear. That's why it's hard for me to pick like just one. How about other people who Meryl Streep has appeared with, especially recently, like Steve Martin? I would love to sit down and talk to Steve Martin. He is, musician, actor, comedian, amazing. That would be amazing. John Goodman, another good one. There's so many actors who would be fascinating to sit down and talk to. I love Law's idea, though, about Johnny Carson. I think Johnny would be amazing, especially because he has gotten so many, just so many interviews and met so many people. Steve Martin. Oh, you liked him in Cheaper by the Dozen. He was good in those movies. John Belushi. Oh my gosh, I would love to sit down with John Belushi. How about anyone? How about John Candy? John Candy would be another great one to sit down and talk to, who I would love to be able to do that. Let's see. So, Michael Ann is opening it up to the cast of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and The Hobbit. Oh, and Sam Elliott, huge Sam Elliott, huge crush on Sam Elliott forever and ever. So there we go. Meryl Streep and Kristen Wiig in the UFO skit on SNL 50th episode. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's one of the reasons I love Meryl, is so funny. And she's just such a great actress in so many ways. What am I now? A zit. Get it? Back to John Belushi. Loved him. Oh, Captain Kangaroo would be another one. Who remembers Captain Kangaroo, though? I mean, come on. Let's all sing like ping pong balls. Ping pong ball. And they would all rain down on Mr. Moose. So, yep. 7 years of college down the drain. Great Belushi moments. Here's a sad note. Most of these actors are much older than those here. They are. Yeah. Oh, Sam. Oh, same with Elliot and Patrick Swayze. Yes. Yes. Love. So you watch Captain Kangaroo. Yes. And Mr. Green Jeans. Loved Captain Kangaroo as a kid. That was fantastic. He was a funny, he was a good show. Definitely. Loved that. Loved that. Okay, so Sam Elliott and Patrick Swayze. Now I'm like in the mood to watch Roadhouse, the original one, and get to actually see that. Patrick Swayze, talk about somebody who could do amazing stuff with comedy, because too funny there. Wow, Soupy Sales. Holy cow. We're going back in the day there with that one, Ross. Absolutely. And Sam is Avery McCarram in Justified. Oh my gosh. Jerry Lewis would be another interesting person to talk to. He did so many different things and so many different activities and all kinds of stuff with the telethon work and everything. Jackie Gleason. Holy cow. Okay, now we're really digging back in the day. Flip Wilson. Holy cow. The whole Rat Pack. Michael Ann wants the whole Rat Pack. I agree. They would be fun to sit down and have a cocktail with. They could be some interesting gentlemen to sit down with. Oh, Shannon, Carol O'Connor. Love Carol O'Connor. Actually love him not just in, I loved Carol O'Connor. Do you remember when he did the Lassie movie? He did one of the Lassie movies. I don't remember if it was Lad, a Dog, or Lassie, but he did one of the Lassie movies a bazillion years ago. Somebody can remind me. So yes, don't fight the feeling. Okay, I won't. Which one was it, Shannon? You brought up Carol O'Connor. I know that you love him from All in the Family, as I do too. But do you remember him in one of those Lassie movies a million years ago with Angela Cartwright before she was on Lost in Space? Now I'm going I'm going in the way back machine for this one now. Yeah, definitely. Who else do we want to sit down with in our last few minutes here? We've got about 10 minutes left. So what other actors would you like to sit down with? I'm definitely going back to Dolly Parton would be a really cool person to sit down and talk to. I want to talk to her about stuff that she has done out of the public eye. Because she has done a ton of charity work, and she has set up like her library and has distributed millions of books. And oh, here we go. Since I said Lost in Space, Billy Mummy. Wow. Okay. No idea on Lassie, but loved him on Heat of the Night. Oh, wow. I remember that show. Okay. Christopher Reeves would be another one. How about Christopher Walken? Would love to sit down with Christopher Walken. He's another one. Okay, so when Ross lived in Vegas, he sat down with Rodney Dangerfield. He's very quiet and a very intelligent person. Really? I would have thought he was kind of over the top, but I can Appreciate that. Kiefer Sutherland, he'd be another great one. I actually, Michael Ann, I just saw something on social media where they are talking to they're talking about actors who will take over the role of President Snow in the upcoming Hunger Games, and Kiefer Sutherland wasn't the person they named, which kind of blew my mind there. So yeah, Christopher Walken would be so much fun to sit down and talk to. Robin Williams, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and he might have been quiet and he might have been a very intelligent person, but he got no respect. Absolutely. Oh, Red Fox. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Holy cow. Red Fox did great stand up. Macaulay Culkin could be another interesting person to talk to. Jack Black, Jack Black just did Saturday Night Live last night. So absolutely. Ooh, Joe Pesci. You guys are coming up with like some great people. So a man who had a coffee shop here said one time he rode on a plane with Kiefer's dad, Donald Sutherland. He said he was nice and talkative. I did not get the opportunity to meet Donald Sutherland. He would be another great one, though. He was an amazing actor. Kevin Costner would be fantastic too. I've loved so much that he's done. There are so many actors. I'm still going back to Mel Brooks, though. I definitely am. Barbara Streisand would be amazing, but all I would want her to do is sing. So that's why, I can't go with singers. Yeah. Will Smith. Will Smith? Law is asking. Who I actually there are, oh wow, Shannon, Carol Burnett and Tim Conway. But how could you stop laughing if it was the two of them? Tim Conway used to make me laugh just standing there on the Carol Burnett show. They would be in the middle of a bit, and yeah, that is very funny that you thought of it at the exact same time. Okay, Amelia Earhart. Okay, not an actor, but interesting. Person of history. I like that. Victor Borgia. Oh my gosh, Ross, you are definitely going to the Wayback Machine for some of these folks. Tim Conway's Elephant Story. Yes. Tim Conway doing anything was hilarious. When they used to do on the Carol Burnett show where she was the secretary, Mrs. Wiggins, and he was the boss. Oh my gosh, I used to laugh so hard I would be in tears just from the way he would say Mrs. Wiggins. That was hilarious. So Michael Ann is sitting and looking at her shelf of DVDs. Oh my gosh. And that's where you're coming up with ideas. I love that. I love that. Okay. Johnny Depp. He is an interesting person. I wonder what he would be like in real life, because definitely. Yeah. Mrs. Wiggins. That is so funny. The Carol Burnett show can be entertaining to watch, to see the actors try and break one another. They used to do that all the time. Yes, he would absolutely. The Wiggins. And she did that walk with that ridiculous tight skirt where she could barely move. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tim Conway doing the dentist with Harvey Korman. Oh, forget about it. Hilarious. For anybody in the house who is too young to remember the Carol Burnett show, go back and watch, because amazing comedy. Jack Nicholson, he would be interesting to talk to. I think he would be more interesting to talk to now, later on, to kind of look back, because he was one intense dude back in the day. He really was. He did some great stuff though, and just incredible movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is still one of my all-time like favorite movies that just moves me so much to this day. I mean, no matter how many times I've seen it. Absolutely. Just incredible. Yeah, it definitely stands the test of time. It is definitely a classic. Oh, the cast from MASH. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. So Shannon says if she's going back to childhood heroes, Wonder Woman, Linda Carter, she would be great. Yes. Or the crazy movie where he couldn't walk on the lines. Oh, Jack Nicholson. Yes. Yes. Now I'm drawing a blank on it since you brought it up, Scott. Shoot. Okay, somebody help both of us out. I want to say Jack Nicholson had something to do with the movie's Monkey Head. He was either in it or behind it. Wow. I would go up to Slim Pickens and ask if I could have some more beans. No, not Rain Man. Rain Man was great, but what was it with Jack Nicholson and he had the dog that he was watching for his neighbor. I know what movie you're talking about, and I'll think of it as soon as we're off the air. So Michael Ann is saying she loved Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman in Bucket List. They were fantastic. That was a great movie. And yeah, Dustin Hoffman. Talk about an actor who has had an amazing career. Yes, as good as it gets. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Denise. Yes, as good as it gets. Perfect. Thank you. As good as it gets. Thank you very much. Now I want to watch that movie because I haven't seen it in forever, but that's another great one. Thank you so much because I was racking my brain. So thank you both to Shannon and Denise for coming up with that one. That was good. Where he meets the woman at a ding, 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 Denise. Woohoo. There we go. Okay. Oh, don't forget about Witches of Eastwick. How about the whole cast from the Witches of Eastwick? Fantastic. The actress was in it was Helen Hunt. Yes. Yes, it was. But Witches of Eastwick with Cher and Susan Sarandon and Michelle Pfeiffer and Jack Nicholson. I mean, wouldn't you want to sit down with that whole cast? That would be a cool thing to do too. That combines a few of the people who we've been talking about. Absolutely. Yeah. Damn good movie. Absolutely. Well, we are coming to the end of our time together, folks. And thank you so much for sharing your ideas with me of who you would want to sit down and talk to from an actor-actress perspective. And Aaron is saying, good thing Peter Sellers was claustrophobic. Otherwise, we wouldn't have Slim Pickens as Major Kong in Dr. Strangelove. Throwback movie. Wow. Absolutely. Okay. Bruce Willis would be another amazing one. Okay. Here we go. Shannon, cast of West Wing. Watch it. She's telling me to watch it because I haven't watched it yet. I've only seen clips and I haven't sat down and watched the whole series yet. And I know I need to. So wonderful. Thank you all so much. And Ron is saying that they have started watching it again. Great series. Yes, I know. I need to watch it. I know. Yes, it's horror. Okay. Pat Morita. Yes, another great actor. Actually, did you see that they are coming out with a new Karate Kid movie? And I was very skeptical about it until I saw the preview. It looks killer. It looks killer. Thank you so much for coming in for Brunch and BS. Thank you, Law. Remember to tip your waitress. Fabulous having you all in here today. Thank you so much. And join me again next week for another episode of Brunch and BS. Next week's episode will actually be on location in Phoenix, Arizona. So thank you so much. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.